going to have one before you. Andrea, who's not supposed to be here today, won't be speaking, but Tanya is going to be in her place today. And JC is going to be speaker number 3. Concerning that, what you talked about, Diana, for the timing, timer. Yes. Maybe Andrea could do that for that one.
I'm a horrible timer.
You and me both, baby.
I can't keep paying attention.
So she can do the evaluation. I'll just keep time.
Okay.
Once I get going, I'll do it.
Am I evaluating?
And you'll be evaluator number 3, Andrea.
Carolyn be here?
Carolyn's on her way.
You don't have the speakers.
There she is.
Yeah, we have the speakers.
Okay. All minds clear? And wow, we have a full house today.
Yay!
Tim is here as well.
Cheers, she's here.
Yes. Great.
Actually, Tim is here, so.
Good.
I'm truly honored to be your Toastmaster this afternoon. I hope you're all holding on to your seats because today we have a meeting that is exciting, fun. Since we have no guests, there's no need for the timers, everybody knows what the roles are and what their duties are. Therefore now, we'll start our table topics portion of the meeting. And our table topic master today is, she's the Toastmaster for in this club and other clubs, and she's the Advanced Communicator Bronze, Joan Daly.
Yay!
Fellow Toastmasters, it's my pleasure to be your topic master today. Please note on the bottom of your agenda, our Toastmaster has listed the word of the day, and I believe it is recipient.
Recipient, yes.
So,
I should have gone.
okay, it's there for us.
Do you have another agenda? I'm sorry.
Great. Why don't you just review what the word means, and then we'll be sure we use it.
Okay, recipient is having perception, discerning, discriminating, as in a recipient choice of wine.
Okay.
Anyone used it in their speech today? You will be recognized.
So, fellow Toastmasters, please be percipient in your answers to our table topics questions today, and realize that while you may be speaking, I'll try to avoid our main speakers, but we have a small group, so you are fair game. Fair game for my questions today. So my first one is, should cell phones be permitted in schools? Should cell phones be permitted in schools? Your opinion and reasoning. Tim Morrell.
Fellow Toastmasters, should cell phones be permitted in schools? It's such a broad statement because if I were to say no, somebody would say, wow, what about the principal? Should the principal be able to have a cell phone? What if there's an emergency? You didn't limit it to just students. And then you start to say, wow, what if students have cell phones? Is it important for an emergency? But on the other hand, what would they be doing with the cell phone in class? You get enough distractions as it is. Plus, with smartphones, they can get on the internet, they can be doing all kinds of things other than studying their class. So, this just gets down to a matter of common sense. It seems to me if I'm running a class, I would run it pretty much the same way as a Toastmaster meeting. Beginning of that meeting, I would say, please silence your cell phones, put them away. I wouldn't worry about it beyond that. I'm not one to have big government regulation. I would like to see some common sense conservatism there. I know some of you think, well, Tim, you're a liberal. No, when it comes to the classroom, kids have enough fooling around to do. So I would prefer that it just be common sense handled by the teachers.
Until what age would you like to live, and why? Until what age would you like to live, and and why? Andrea?
Well, hopefully you're not limiting it till today, because today I'm not quite sure. I don't have a really good answer. It might be like last year. I would have liked to have lived till last year. But in the general sense, I have read in a book that the people that survive the best are the ones who would say that they would like to live to be 100. And that they would be able to say that without any, if I'm healthy, if I have my brain, if things are, because you either do or you don't, okay? If you put all these qualifications on it, yes, I want to be in love, but I want it to be this, this, and this. We've all had experiences with putting qualifications on what it is we want. At some point in this year, I did really feel, yes, I want to live to be 100 and it doesn't matter. And I thought, wow, you have made huge strides from when you read that book that said, do you want to be 100 and you need to say it or you're not healthy, mentally healthy. I thought, I could say it because I'm so interested in life. Even when I'm in the throes of depression, I can see myself and go, oh, this is really interesting. I wonder why. And so I have made strides, and I can say that 100 is a good time. We have a great chance of it these days. Things have gone well, and I probably need it to figure stuff out. I probably need to live to be 100 to figure it all out. So I'll take 100. There you go.
What is something you spend a lot of money on? What is something you spend a lot of money on? John Hicks.
Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters. What do I spend a lot of money on? Jeez. Right now, fixing my car. And our cars, because it sounds like a lot of money. But I like to keep my car until it absolutely drops dead. And yes, I do wish it to be 100. 90 years to go, actually 85. But in all truthfulness, this is what we do. We keep our cars as long as possible. We have a 1998 Honda Odyssey, and I've got about 250,000, 260,000 miles on it. Then when something breaks, we fix it. So when I did my analysis of my Civic and my Odyssey, both older cars with lots of miles on them, it came out that the cost of maintaining the car is between $250 and $300 a month. It comes out to the cost overall. And that is still a lot cheaper than spending $600 a month on a new car, and then having to worry about, well, is somebody going to ding this car? Oh my gosh, I got scratched! You know, I don't have to worry about those things. You know, if somebody gives me a little bump or a scratch or whatever, it is what it is. So I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so does it look really hot? And if I was single, would I be riding around in it? Well, maybe that would be a different issue. However, I'm an old married man. I got 2 kids that are fully grown. I don't need to prove anything. So I drive a little old Honda Civic, and that's what I'm doing today.
What is the most thought-provoking book you've read? What is the most thought-provoking book you've read? Carolyn Burgess.
Madam Table Topics, fellow Toastmasters. The most thought-provoking book I've ever read. I can't think of one, but I know the author is Malcolm Gladwell. I think this guy is brilliant. He is what would be called a social scientist, although he is a writer for the New Yorker. But he has these great observations. Like, he wrote a book, and he has different subjects in the book that you would think, how can somebody write that many pages on spaghetti sauce? So, I don't know if you're familiar with Malcolm Gladwell, but he talks about how spaghetti sauce got from in restaurants all the way into a bottle in your house. And it's so interesting, you're reading about this, and then he talks about how there are hundreds of varieties of ketchup, but very few varieties of mustard. Why is that? And just reading his observations, another observation he had was in New York, or one of those cities, they thought that there was a thought that violence would subside if the number of broken windows went down. So they thought that if they would fix up these vacant houses, take away the broken windows, violence would go down. And it actually did. There's a whole lot of thinking behind that, as in people start fixing up their neighborhoods, and so they basically run out with criminals. But it all boils down to broken windows. So that's actually a theory. So Malcolm Gladwell is a very percipient writer, and I think you all should read any book he writes.
What is your favorite TV show? And tell us why you think we should watch it. Colin.
Madam Table Topics Master. Television. What is television? I forget what TV is now. I think it's that thing that's hanging on my wall in the living room that I haven't watched since around about February 15. And now that tax season's over and April 15's behind me, the last thing I want to do is watch television. Because television is addictive. Addictive. The last show I was watching, just before going into tax season, was... can't even remember the guy's name now. Very precipitant fellow. What is his name? Can't remember his name. I watch him every day. I was addicted to him. I'd watch him every day on TV. Now I don't even remember what his name is. But he's a newscaster, and he's so rude. He always interrupts people. Always interrupts people. He comes on right after Al Sharpton. What's his name? Gosh, I can't think of his name. It's on the tip of my tongue. But he asks somebody a question, and just as they start to answer the question, when he's got enough out of them, he just cuts them off and starts answering the question himself. And I'm like, let the guy speak, let the woman speak, stop cutting them off. You ask the question, you don't ask the question and then give the answer too. Let the person finish. His name will come to me, it will. Help me here, somebody help me. He's got Chris Matthews. Chris Matthews. Hardball, let's play hardball with Chris Matthews. Let's play hardball. But a very precipitant fellow, and precipitant fellow, very precipitant. Percipient, very perceptive. He's a perceptive fellow, very perceptive, and I love him. And maybe once I get the taxes from bouncing around my brain, I will go back to Mr. Matthews and watch him cut more people off again and get my blood all boiled up. Madam
Fellow Toastmasters, please vote for who you believe did the best job in responding to Table Topics questions today, and I will pick up the votes. We'll now turn the meeting, or I will turn control of the meeting back to our Toastmaster of the day for the next section of our meeting. Anthony.
Now we move into the prepared speeches portion of the Toastmasters meeting. And And our first speaker today is Paula Bartow. She is currently working in the Interpretive Reading Manual on project number 4. This project is about performing a play using dialogue between 2 or more characters. It is a 5 to 7 minute presentation, and it is entitled The Birthday Gift. Paula Bartow.
steps to go. Here, give me your arm. I don't want you to trip. Please, please let me look. I want to look now. Let's count to 3, and then you can open your eyes. 1, 2, 3. Surprise! Is that him over there under that blanket? Doesn't look like a pony. Well, it is. It's a $350 Shetland pony. Why is it laying down like that under the blanket? Is there something wrong with it? Is it sick? You're a very percipient individual. You know, Lisa, I hate to tell you this, but what's wrong with it? Is it sick? Is it hurt? No, dear. I've got to face the facts. I hate to tell you this, but the pony's dead. Dead? What do you mean the pony's dead? What happened to it? You're 13 now. You're on the verge of being an adult, so I think I can tell you the truth. I shot it. Why did you shoot my pony? It's not easy being a parent. Sometimes we have to do things to protect our children. The pony bit me. But it was just a little pony. It didn't know any better. I know it didn't mean to hurt you. You didn't have to shoot it. Why did you shoot my pony? Well, it wasn't your pony when I shot it. But I love my pony. How dare you hurt my pony? You're not a feeling man. This pony was the most important thing to me. You don't know how much I loved it. Whenever I would go to visit, it would shake its tail and toss its mane, and it would come over to nuzzle me and eat sugar out of my hand. It was so very special. You couldn't understand that. You're all bottled up inside. You don't know what it is to feel emotion. How could you know how much this animal loved me? You didn't have him until today. No, you don't know what was going on. I used to sneak out at night when you were asleep, when you thought I didn't know what was going on. And I would go to visit in the pasture. Pasture? What pasture? I would go to visit and he would smell me from a distance and shake his head and come running over to me and nuzzle my hand, and we'd hug, and I'd climb on his back and we'd gallop over the moonlit moor. Moonlit moor? And my hair would go flying in the breeze, and we'd run through the wind like lightning. I loved my pony. Black Thunder meant so much to me. Black Thunder. But you killed it. You didn't care how much it meant to me. You shot him and now he's gone. The only thing that ever meant anything to me. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. You killed my pony. No, I really didn't. April Fools. April Fools? It's not April 1st. It's my birthday. Birthday Fools. I never heard of Birthday Fools before. This is the cruelest trick anybody's ever played on me. I can't believe my father would bring me out to show me a dead pony. And then trick me like this. What were you thinking? Well, I didn't want you to think that I wouldn't get you a birthday gift. So I thought we'd make it a little bit interesting. Well then, what's under the blanket? I'll tell you what. Why don't you take 3 guesses? And we'll see if you can figure it out. Maybe a big, gigantic turtle? No. How about a big rubber raft? No. I don't like this game anymore. It's my birthday. You're not supposed to be playing these cruel jokes. Tell me what it is. All right. It's the motorcycle you wanted. The Honda? Yep, that's the one. The red one? Yep. Happy birthday, Lisa. Oh, Daddy, you're the best daddy in the whole world.
this thing.
5 to 7 minutes, but it's supposed to be 5 to 7.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good.
I skipped a part, but yeah, it was.
5:05.
Oh, okay.
Okay, our next speaker will be speaking from the Company Communications Manual, project number 2. She is going to speak about perseverance today. I give you Tanya Kajus. Very well.
Well, good morning, everyone. You know, I once heard a story about a man who had gold fever. So he trekked out west, he staked his claim, and he started digging. And he was determined that he was going to find gold. So he dug and he struck gold. So he covered up his find, and he went back home because he needed to gather money to purchase the machinery to finish his digging. So he went, he talked to his family and friends, and he begged, and he pled, and he promised, and they came up with money. He got the machinery sent back out west. He went out there, and he worked the hardest he's ever worked. And he kept getting gold. He was able to pay off his debts, and he thought to himself, from here on out, it's pure profit. Everything is good, life is good, or so he thought. Because the gold just stopped. The ore disappeared. So after a while, he's not getting any gold, and he's still digging. He quits. He's frustrated. He can't do it anymore. And he sells all of his machinery to a junk man for a few $100s. He moves back east. He's done with the whole gold fever. So the junk man decides that he's going to hire a mining engineer. He's going to have that mining engineer do some calculations and see just how far away from gold this mine really is. So the mining engineer does his calculations, and he says, hey, if you dig 1, 2, 3 feet, you'll find gold. So the junk man, of course, took that machinery that he purchased for a couple $100s, and he dug, and he found gold, and he became a millionaire. Can you imagine stopping just 3 feet of gold? Fellow Toastmasters, Mr. Toastmaster, can you think of a time when you stopped just 3 feet from gold? When you were giving it your all, but nothing was really coming together, so you gave up or you gave in? It's happened to me. Quitting or not quitting, in my opinion, tends to be a learned behavior. I remember as a child and as a teenager playing sports, and the coach was always on about, never quit, persevere, keep going. Okay, so we kept going. And parents are really great at giving that quitters never win speech. And I never thought I'd give that speech, but as a parent, I gave that speech all the time, it seemed. But what's very funny about that is our children watch what we do. So as I'm telling my son, don't quit, keep going, persevere, be relentless, I'm modeling quitters' behavior. As I was putting this speech together, I thought about the various clubs, projects, and whatnot that I had started and quit. And then I'm preaching to my son about not quitting. How dare me? So now, thankfully, I have changed some behaviors, and my son has a better model, a better example of how not to quit and how to persevere. So what I've learned is that it's never too late to make changes, and the changes in you can positively impact someone else. I've learned to picture my goals as a dartboard, and I have the dart in my hand, and I aim for the middle of the board. I pull my arm back, and I thrust the dart forward, propel it through the air, and I'm aiming for the middle. Do I always hit the middle? Never. Absolutely not. Sometimes I'm off to the left a little, sometimes I'm off to the right a little. But it's that concentrated effort, that focus. So I encourage everyone to focus, aim, and shoot. When you step up to the dartboard of your life every morning, focus, aim, and shoot. Again, it doesn't mean that you're always going to hit your mark, but you'll get closer with each try. The only way that you won't hit the mark or come close is if you drop the dart and quit. If you decide to quit, that target is never going to be hit. While putting this together, again, I was thinking about what example do we have of tenacity? And when I think about tenacity, I think about a pit bull. And when a pit bull holds on to something, he doesn't let go. He's holding, if he's holding on to you, he's not letting go, right? So don't we all owe it to ourselves to hold on to our dreams with the tenacity of a pit bull? Remember, you're not defeated until you resign yourself to defeat. If you say, I'm giving up, then you've given up. And there's a poem that I came across that really appropriately reflects quitting versus not quitting, so I'm going to share that with you all. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, and the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when funds are low and debts are high, and you want to smile, but you can only sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but do not quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns, and many a failure turns about when he might have won had he stuck it out. So don't give up though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with just one more blow. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint in the cloud of doubt. And you never can tell just how close you are. It may be near when it seems really far. So stick to the fight when you're hardest hit. It's when things seem at their worst that you must not quit. I encourage everyone to relentlessly pursue your dreams with the tenacity of a pit bull. Tell yourself, like I tell myself now, I will not quit. I will not stop 3 feet from gold.
That was golden. In my attempt to be, just a few moments, to be efficient, and I wasn't recipient enough to print enough copies of the agenda, so we were lacking one. Apologize for that. Our third speaker today will also be speaking from the Company Communications Manual. And he's going to talk about his speaking skills and says he loves the idea of iron sharpening iron. Today he will talk about the importance of helping others in response to Project 2. JC Cajuste.
Last week, by a show of hands, who was here? All right. And do any one of you remember what the exquisite Diana Lloyd reminded us? Well, she reminded us that when there are turmoils, crises, disasters, you must always look for the helpers. In the year 2001, September 11th, the Twin Towers were attacked by extremists. There were disasters. Thousands of people died. But August of 2005, Katrina hit New York. And again, December 2012, Sandy hit the East Coast. Thousands were devastated. Even more people died. But there were helpers. Just last week, everyone honed on the Boston Marathon. From all over the world, people trained for years just for the Boston Marathon. And as they were triumphantly crossing the line, their destination, they had their best time. Boom! Boom! Bomb exploded. Witnesses said there were body parts and blood in the street. One person accounted that it seemed like he was in the war in Afghanistan. But there were helpers, fellow Toastmasters. Who are the helpers? Well, let me tell you my personal definition. The helpers are people that believe they are here for a higher purpose. They are here because it is the right thing to do. For instance, people that jumps into the ocean and pulls foot, saving drowning individuals that they don't even know. People that run into burning buildings and save people that they don't even know. I know someone personally that told me he was a witness to a car crash, horrible car crash. He pulled his vehicle, stopped incoming traffic, went and saw what was happening. Saw two bystanders, told them to come. One of them, he said, dial 911. And he told the other one, please help me rescue this person out of the car. And as he pulled him out, he saw there was something wrong with his neck. So he held him there, hold still, do not move. Told the other person that was with him, check on the other passengers. And when the ambulance and the paramedics got there, they told him that he saved his life. His neck was broken. He could have been more damaged or even died. When the news got there, he refused to be interviewed. He told me personally, because that is the human thing to do. That is the right thing. He was a hero. That's what I mean when I say helpers. There are certain situations that happen that you are not trained for. However, there's a need and you must fill it. Don't be the bystander, be the helper. So I say unto you, watch for those opportune times. You don't have to be trained for it. Do the act of service. Help. The Dalai Lama said, and I quote, I believe there's a prime purpose for everyone here on this world, this planet, this life, that you must help others. However, if you cannot help them, at least don't hurt them. Mr. Toastmaster.
Can I get a timer's report on the...
Yes, Paula was 5:05, Tanya was 6:43, and JC was 5 exactly. There.
And please, Masters. Yes, got them bills there. Now we'll turn it over, we move into the portion where evaluations, which is a very important part. And at this time, I'd like to introduce the general evaluator, Colin Small.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters, a very important part of the meeting indeed. The time that we get to bring up 3 recipient individuals to make comments on our 3 formal speeches so we can get immediate, real-time feedback. So, without further ado, our first evaluator will be Daniel Ruiz, evaluating Bonaparte.
Mr. General Evaluator, fellow members, and all guests today, particularly you, Paula. Very percipient acting from you, very percipient, family-orientated message that you give to us. You show us like a play, like a typical family scenario in which the kid expects to get the present from the parent, but you struggle that because you want to be nice to the kid, but at the same time you want to educate the kid, and then you show that the pony was dead. Horrible thing to do. You know, maybe just not give any present, and then you say, no, it's a joke. Well, but you already said that, so you already gave a hard time to the kid. That part was a little sad. I don't know whether that really matched the whole meaning of your speech. I would have preferred maybe just give him a toy, like a puppet pony, but not a dead pony. So, and I'm having to carry a dead pony anyway, so that part, it was a little strong, but anyway, the way you presented it, I liked it. How you struggle with the kid, you know, how to teach them, but at the same time, give them a good time. I like that part. One thing, I don't know if you picked up, but you didn't address the audience. You didn't say fellow members and guests or nothing. You just went straight to the speech. And I was expecting to get that sometime during your speech, which was a bit unusual, a bit informal. It was very entertaining, and the highlight of your speech for me was the way that you moved yourself. It was clear there was 2 personalities, 2 characters there. One the kid and one the parent. And the way you moved your body, it was perfect. I can see there are 2 persons in there, even though it was just you. I can see that. So, high marks for that. As usual, you have very clear communication, very clear pronunciation. It's very easy for us to understand you, and you pause. That's perfect. That's this. Well, I don't know how else to describe it, but that matches all the good notes on that. The only thing I would like to maybe check on your message is there wasn't that meaningful. It wasn't too meaningful. I think you have to give some meaning to the speech at the end, because at the end the kid got a motorcycle. So what? I mean, maybe I would have left like. Even a real pony or even nothing. But maybe put a bit of meaning, and that was a very high note speech. I really liked it. And I look forward to hearing more of your speeches. Back to you, Mr. General.
Thank you, Daniel. And our next evaluator will be Carol Burgess, evaluating Tanya.
Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and especially Tanya. You all might not know this, but I have been deemed Tanya's Toast mentor. That's what she calls me. So she's my mentee. And my mentee did a fabulous job up here. No one could tell me that you have not been speaking before. I mean, you're not a beginning speaker. You definitely not. Because if you are, you sure play that role well. And you did a fabulous job up here. I liked it. Well, first of all, your professionally dressed, as you always are. And I don't know if you all noticed, but they always match. And she said they've done this for 10 years. And I think that's so cute. But you really played the part when you came up here, and your statue, you're just so, you command a presence, I'll say that. And you make people pay attention to you because they know they're going to hear something. And the authority that you use while you're speaking is fabulous. It's spot on. What could you do that would improve if asked in your book? Well, I didn't really hear a title. I know you said it's about perseverance, so I didn't know if perseverance was the title or it was just what it was about. But possibly put a title. And there was a point that I think if you do this, it will make that speech so powerful. You talk about the perseverance of the guy digging the gold, and then you went into the focus, aim, and shoot. I think if you make the whole thing about focus, aim, and shoot, maybe make that the title, and then that would work in the perseverance, that would make it so powerful. But I really love the fact that you threw in the personal story and the story in the beginning. You'll find out that if you tell a story, you pull people into your speech. And if you make it about you, you definitely have them right where you want them. So keep up the good work, my Toast mentee. I look forward to more speeches from you.
Thank you, Carolyn. And our final evaluator will be Tim Morrell, evaluating JC.
Mr. General Bagwell, fellow Toastmasters, most especially JC. Boom! I love that boom. You have a presence out there, JC. You have gravitas. And you picked a topic that, for lack of a better word, the word of the day, is a precipient topic. It showed a depth of understanding what you were talking about and the point that you were trying to make. Now, the speech, manual speech you were working on was organize your speech. And here's what it says to me, the evaluator. Speakers present a talk that's organized in a manner that leads the audience to a clearly defined goal, has to have a body conclusion, major facts and ideas, and appropriate support material with some smooth transition between facts and ideas. So they have a whole lot of things here, and I'm not going to go through all the categories. Just get right down to what could the speaker have done differently to make this speech more effective. First thing I would say is cut right to the boom. Get right to that. That's where all of a sudden everybody perked up and we're starting to figure out what you're talking about. You had one of the questions here is how did I like your opening? Did you grab our attention? And I thought the Diana Lloyd thing was okay. I was kind of with you, but by definition, everybody in the room wasn't there to see Diana last week, so you kind of lost on that. So I'm starting to think, you know what would have been a real grabber? The boom would have been a grabber. Acknowledge the audience within 10 to 30 seconds. I am a fan of what I used to call the Bonanza line, or the Star Trek line. That would be where you'd see Bonanza episode, dun, 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 Bonanza, and all of a sudden Little Joe horses up and he's laying there dead, you know? It looks like he's dead. Then they cut to the theme music. I love that. Gets everybody's attention, gets them hooked, okay? But you can go too long with that. And you went 3 minutes, 30 seconds before you said, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. Can't do that. I can tell you for a fact, I know somebody that did that at the 4th District Court of Appeal, a very good friend of mine. I told him quick hook line to get him, and then may it please the court. He took too long, and the court cut him off and said, you need to address the court. So, and last but not least, narrow it down. You didn't need to go through 9/11 and all those other things. Narrow it down and make your point. Now, I noticed that Project 3 is get to the point, and I'm hoping that will help you out here. But narrow this down a bit. You could have just talked about the people of Boston, how that city came together, how the country came together, how the citizens came together. Cell phone cameras, everything. I don't know where they got all of the video that they got that nabbed those guys. But everybody, that was the first time in history that in our country anyway, that such a thing went out where the FBI put out things like that, and people just supplied their own videos. So that could have been, you didn't need all that other stuff. So I guess, is that red now? I'm not sure what's going on. Okay. I don't know what you're doing. Okay, so anyway, figure out the lights. Good job, keep the gravitas, and try to get more to the point, which is Project 3. Mr. Toastmaster.
That's why we have this table.
No idea what you're doing, Diana.
But you got it.
Okay.
You were very
I figured it was
percipient.
something, yes.
He was very percipient.
He was very
Thank you for that, Tim.
Say it loud.
I think it's great. Not only is it great to listen to the three speakers come up here and give the formal speeches, but it's also great to listen to the three evaluators all come up here with different styles and offer the formal feedback to those speakers as I say, in different styles. It's always nice to hear that. Before I ask to go for the favorite evaluator, if I could get a times report of evaluators, Madam?
Yes, they were all within time.
Everybody was in time. Please go for your favorite evaluator. And while we're doing that, we'll go ahead and take the various reports. We've had the times report, the R counter and grammarians report from Toastmaster John Hicks.
Thank you, General Evaluator and our fellow Toastmasters. I'll just say this, I tried to do my best to be as recipient as possible. And I only heard a few people use Oz, not too many. I just heard Daniel and Anthony, 2 or 3 maybe, and several of you had a number of double clutches. So I'm not going to name names, but just be cognizant of that. As far as the grammar, I liked a lot of the statements that people had today. Many of the words, choices, and phrases were excellent. Colin, actually you had one, get blood all boiled up. I don't think that makes probably good grammar, but it cited a very good
Blood boiling.
yeah, word picture in my mind was very powerful. I pictured blood boiling. And Paula, shake its head and toss its mane. You had a few other ones too that I liked. Tanya, you won the prize today. You had so many different ones that I couldn't even keep. I ran out of space on my paper. How dare me step up to the dartboard of your life. Hold on to our dreams with the tenacity of a pit bull. Focus, aim, and shoot. And Carol, you had Toast Menti. I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds good. And Tim, you have a lot of gravitize yourself. That's my report today.
Word master report is, people use the word recipient. Paula, you use it several times. Joan used it, Paula used it, Daniel used it, Tim, Diana, and anyone that I didn't call or didn't use the word and I didn't call them, Carol used the word. So anyone didn't use the word, pay the pig.
I might add that was very recipient of you to notice all those people that used the word. And I'll just say a few comments. I thought the meeting went very, very well. I think it started off at the very beginning with Anthony giving us multiple updates. Seemed like we were getting updates on the hour and a half hour too. I like that. I like that. But we got lots of responses and everybody showed up. We got all the places filled. Everybody moved around. Everybody was willing to move around, so that was great. Very much thinking on your feet or on your seat with your lights, and very recipient of Tim to notice what she was doing.
Except for Paula. I never turned on the light for her, but that's all right. She was only 5 seconds past the first light.
So all in all, I thought we had a great meeting, and it was very enjoyable. And at this point, I will turn it back over to the Toastmaster of the day, Mr. Anthony Adams.
I got
And now, we have some awards. For the table topics, we have to get the ribbons later, but table topics go to Colin Small.
I turned it on 2 or 3 times, it didn't even do me squat.
Best evaluator, Tim Morrell. And our best speaker for today is Tanya Kajus. Very good meeting today in my eye, and I just want to turn it back to the control of the meeting over to the president.
Thank you. Great meeting. Sorry I was late. Thank you for whomever opened the meeting. John. Wonderful, wonderful. Diana.
Madam Toastmaster President, when I'm going through my things at home, I found this ribbon. It is a Select Distinguished Club ribbon for 30 to 39 members category from 1998 to 1999. I know it belongs to this club.
We like accolades. No
Because
matter
that
who
year,
How many years ago was that?
a couple.
Okay. Okay, it still holds. Okay.
It's still, it can go on the, it goes on the banner.
Yeah, it used to be 30 to 39. That's wonderful.
I'm
Wonderful.
sure that we did.
We'll get
that
there
one,
again.
had that.
We'll get there again. Are there any other
What, Tim?
announcements?
Oh,
I just want to say, I'm the chairman, or whatever you want to call it, of a committee to find officers for next year. Our officers will, this panel will end June 30th, and then we'll start up again July 1st. So if anybody's interested in any of the different positions, and next week I'm the Toastmaster, so maybe I can just take a minute to go through what the different positions are and what they entail. If you're on the board and want to continue being on, but just change positions or keep your position, let me know. Anybody else that wants to step up to be a part of it, we'll need 6 people. So,
And speaking of positions, I'll send an email around with yeah, that shows what all of them is. I spoke with Greg, who said that he's not coming back to the club. He happens to be our VP PR, Vice President of Public Relations. So we don't have one. He was supposed to be making a Facebook page, but he didn't. So I do have someone who has stepped up and would take on the rest of his term for VP PR, and that would be Miss Tanya.
Yay!
Yeah. So I would entertain a motion from the floor to vote Tanya in as Vice President PR.
I move Tanya in, Vice President.
Okay, it's been properly moved and second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, I have it. Our new VP PR. Tanya, thank you so
When it's to
much.
finish out a term, you can
Finish
just
the term.
appoint it. You don't have to bring it before the.
Oh, really? Okay, so we did vote.
And what about Carla Sheedy?
Carla is not coming
I
back
didn't
either,
think
so
so.
if anyone wants to take on the membership role, we have no one doing our VP membership. Okay, I will appoint someone. Is there any other business?